kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just hold me. Just hold me. Just hold me. Just hold me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just hold me. Just hold me. Just hold me. Just hold me.
Welcome everybody into the Racers Elite Xfinity Series as we head to Richmond Raceway here. These guys are getting ready to go short track racing as they look to lock themselves into the race for the chase here, as they got this race and one more left. Take a quick gander at the points before we get started here. Ronnie Norman leading with 278. Austin John Smith 2 back, as with Andrew Teft, Kyle Cooper, Alex Teft, Kinsley Smith, Corey Kroll, and then you have Ian Campbell, Lee Campbell, and Matthew Jarrett. Those are the 10 that are sitting in the correct spot as far as points go, but we still have 2 races to go. I'm Mike Devoni up in the booth as always. Joined with me tonight again is Alan. Alan, how is it going, man?
It's going good. You know, they say Virginia is for lovers, but I don't know if people are going to be loving each other after this race tonight.
Yeah, definitely. We headed from Pocono last week, where these guys put on a little bit of the show. Ronnie Norman, Daniel Honeycutt led the most laps, 31-25, wound up coming home 1-2. Andrew Teft came home in P3, so definitely looking to improve those standings as they are trying to, make that chase. If they are outside that top 10, they do take 12, but it's whoever has a win. And so there's several guys looking to get a win. Daniel Honeycutt is looking to get a win. He has to race a couple more times in order to qualify. Brandon Puffenbarger, Jarrett Larder, all those guys sitting just outside that top 12 need that win or some really good races in order to qualify for that chase. So they're going to get ready to do that as these guys get out on track. These guys are going to be coming through pretty quickly here, as it is a short track.
Yes, 3/4 of a mile. It used to be a half mile. It started out as a dirt track, as we're watching Austin Smith start his qualifying run. But this used to be a dirt track, Mike. Did you know that?
Yeah, back in the day, it definitely was. Speaking of back in the day, I don't know what has gotten into Truth, but he was flirting with the top again, just like he did last night. He has definitely put in the time, and it's showing here on track, because he has that 59 Reese's Chevy up there with the 22.17, good enough right now for third place. Austin Smith rolled through with a 21.92. Brandon Honeycutt finished his second lap with a 22.27. Who else is out on track? Joshua Neal had a little bit of heartbreak last night. I kind of had to apologize, because I literally was talking about exactly what happened when it happened to Josh there as he was going down the track. So
yeah, he was definitely one of those guys that he has got tough luck, man.
yeah, definitely he goes through in a 22.15. First lap was the fastest one there. Kyle Cooper in the 73 Ford trying to get some speed here as well. First time through 22.11, good enough for fifth right now. Daniel Honeycutt, like I said, one of the guys that needs to show up next week and probably get a win out of one of these 2 weeks. Kind of had a little bit of heartbreak last week as we wound up finishing under caution. Just couldn't quite get enough green flag laps there at the end in order to give Norman a run for his money there. Hits the outside wall, which I believe that's going to disqualify that lap. Yeah, it doesn't look like it counted that first lap for him. So he is going to have to go all out here on lap number 2. Well, go all out he did. He got a 22.08 as he was sliding sideways through the field there.
Yeah, he definitely sent it. Like, we got Lee Campbell on the clock now. And these guys are trying to best Austin Smith's 21.9.
Yeah, finished his second lap, 22.21. So first lap's what's going to count for him. As we jump over to Ronnie Norman, got that Budweiser number 8 machine rolling, 22.05 first lap. See what he can do second time by. A little bit faster, 21.98. So not too far off there. Puffenbarger looking to make his qualifying run as he gets started. First time by for Puffenbarger goes P2, 21.96. So he is definitely looking to get the pole here. Coming to the start-finish line on lap number 2. 21.97, so definitely consistent lap times there by the 5 machine. The 12 Ford of Ian Campbell rolling through halfway through his first lap. Evening, Michael and Corey on YouTube. I was talking with these guys last night after the race, and they showed me a pretty good clip. If you ever want to see a Ross Chastain move, you'll have to look up their broadcast from last Saturday on the JP broadcasting.
Nice.
But he definitely pulled off that Ross Chastain move. It was, the commentary on it was pretty funny.
I think if anybody can pull off a Chastain move, it's Ian Campbell.
Yeah, Corey did it so, like, it. Watching it was, man, it was just funny. Jeremy Carter coming through first time by 22:41. Andrew Teff with the 22:45. Second time by for Andrew Teft in the 98 Ford. The 22:01 good enough for P5 right now. Looks like we've got Brandon Sanfilippo, Michael Brooks, Dwayne McMahon, Aaron Marquis, Alex Teft, Kinsley Smith, and Ryan Cook are all left to go. If they're going to try and get out, they do have a couple minutes left here in the qualifying session. It is short track racing, so sometimes it's better to be at the back and just kind of mind your P's and Q's there and stay out of the way. Yeah, let's see. So it is a 3/4 mile track, 4 turns as usual. 14 degrees in the turns, 8 degrees on the front stretch, 2 degrees on the back for banking. But definitely watch them to kind of come sliding out of turn 2 there a little bit as the race goes on. Anybody else still? No. We have a couple new guys jumping in here, it looks like, as well. Like I said, these guys are racing for the chase. Right now, you have to have 7 races to qualify for the chase. Honeycutt has 5, Michael Brooks has 5, Dwayne McMahon has 5. So if they can win and stay and get here in the next couple races, they have a good chance to make the chase on the winner's eligibility, basically. Todd Floss and Joshua Neal are sitting in 11th and 12th right now.
You know what's amazing, Mike, is these guys, whenever they race tonight, they're going to fan out on that tri-oval. But they're going to be like a funnel. It's going to be like a funnel when these guys head off into turn 1. We're watching Alex Tuff there in the Aflac Ford Mustang, the number 43. He's going to be good enough for 18th.
Yep, 22:21 there. Got about 30 seconds left, so I don't think anybody else is going to be able to make a lap here.
Aaron Marquis is going to attempt to in the United Reynolds Chevy Camaro, and he's going to lock it up, call it done.
Yeah, not quite enough there. Well, that will do it here for qualifying. Let's jump over to the race session. We'll let them get in their rides here. We got Austin Smith and Brandon Puffenbarger in row 1. Row 2 is Ronnie Norman and Ian Campbell. Andrew Teft and Ira Kohlhaas in row 3. Row 4, Truth Hoke and Daniel Honeycutt. Corey Kroll and Kyle Cooper make up row 5. Row 6, Lee Campbell and Jarrett Larder. We got Joshua Neal, and Gordon Spain in row 7. Row 8, Todd Slauson and Brandon Honeycutt. Jeremy Carter and Alex Teff make up row 9. Starting 19th is Dennis Kane with Marshall Harris to his outside. Matthew Jarrett and John Shanebackler in row 11. Row 12, George Sprinkle with Brandon Sanfilippo. Michael Brooks and Kinsley Smith out there as well in 25th and 26th. Wayne McMahon, Aaron Marquise, and starting shotgun on the field, if he gets in, is Ryan Coker. So that is where we start, man.
It's going to be a fun night.
So here they go getting rolling. Austin Smith, Brandon Puffenbarger in row 1. Austin Smith got his second pole of the season tonight. As they get ready to turn them loose here. One more time around. Thought we were getting ready to go. I'm a little anxious here,
Yeah, I mean, it's Virginia. It's Richmond. We're in the suburbs, at least, so.
Austin does have 2 wins. Andrew Teft has 1. Ronnie Norman has 3. So those are the winners we have seen so far this season. So will it be a first-time winner, or will one of those guys bring home the W here? Pace car is in. Austin Smith with the button as they get to that Geico restart zone. Waits till almost the end. Get it straight and get it true. And here they go. He's got a pretty good jump. Ronnie Norman is right side by side with Puffenbarger, and will go ahead and make that pass. Andrew Teff trying to make the pass there on Puffenbarger as well. Just not quite enough speed there for that 98 machine.
You got Andrew Teff. He's running 4th right now. And Truth Hope, he's having a good run starting out here. It was 163 laps tonight is the distance. And he's working Andrew Teff pretty hard, and Corey Corral's working hard on his inside of Truth Oak.
Now Kroll's trying to get up there to that 98 machine, get to the inside, make a 2-for-1 here as Truth is staying up high. Side by side is the 20 and the 98 coming down that backstretch. Where he goes to the inside. Truth Hoke off the door of Teft as he was sliding up the track, goes down through the infield. And he is falling faster than I can find here. Stopped in the middle of the track. Looks like he is going to get rolling here. We stay green. As he was all by himself in the infield there. Brandon Sanfilippo started from the pits, and now he is just in front of the leaders. As you can see him clear off here just a little bit. Looks like Jeremy Carter goes around, and we are under caution for the first time here tonight.
Caution number 1.
Oh. Jeremy Carter got a little help there from the the chrome bumper, but you know, chrome horn, it's all good.
Well, you know, like the song goes, he wanted a little help from his friends. Here's another look at it, I believe.
It looks like
Joshua Neal tagged him.
Yeah, Joshua Neal was just trying to, didn't think Carter was going to slow up that quick, and just kind of gave him a little help there. That is one thing that you have to pay attention to when you're at these short tracks, is how people's braking points change as the race goes on. They start backing up the corners, and if you're not ready for it, that's exactly what's going to happen there.
For sure. What a beautiful night here in Richmond, Virginia, as we sit outside just the city limits of Richmond, Virginia. Lots of fun facts about Virginia that we are going to spout out to you throughout the night, Mike. We might have time to do stuff like that.
We'll see. We'll see how this works here as they get ready to go through their first couple rounds here of caution laps.
Luckily, the laps will click off quickly tonight.
Yeah, let's see what's going on towards the back here. Looks like Ryan Coker did get in. He's just in the pits right now. A little slow coming down the back here. Austin Smith gonna jump up and take the high side. Michael Smith, of course, cheering for Midwest Motorsports.
Thomas S. wants Truth to get her done. He's been fast this past couple weeks. We can't disagree with you on that one.
No, we can't. He definitely has been putting in the work. Always finds himself, though, in that little bit of trouble, though.
Yeah, if he could just put one of these races together, I think he'd be a force to be reckoned with.
I think he gets at least a top 5 by the end of the season. I mean, he's had a couple top 10s, so we'll see if he's able to close it out here and get, you know, a top 5 before the end of the season. He's got several tracks to do it at. And with the amount of work he's putting in, it would definitely be good for him to get that there.
Yeah, I would like to see him. You know what, Mike? I think he could get a win this year. But nonetheless, Austin Smith is going to bring him to the green flag, and we are off and running again here in Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah, he definitely took the high line so he could have his teammate back behind him. But Ronnie Norman is holding on tight on that bottom lane. Kroll's trying to get up there as well.
Yeah, these guys are going to be battling pretty hard. Poffenberger and Andrew Teft is wanting to get into the mix also. As Kroll finally breaks away from Poffenberger, and he sets his eyes out on Austin Smith, who's in the lead, but Poffenberger's going to try to fight back there on the outside.
And Poffenberger's pretty fast. He's been that way all season, just hasn't quite been able to put together that win, but he's always been around. Kroll trying to battle back on the inside.
Yeah, Mike, this is the kind of racing that we're accustomed to here at Richmond, is the side-by-side racing. And this track always produced a lot of great finishes and some first-time winners.
Yeah, looking back through the field here as they're kind of bouncing around. Daniel Honeycutt, Todd Slauson, Ian Campbell, we're all kind of close together there. Andrew Teff just in front going side by side with Gordon Spain.
Gordon Spain sporting the Logitech colors tonight. They're in the Logitech number 33 Chevrolet. As he's working Andrew Teff fairly hard there on the inside. And Daniel Honeycutt's wanting a piece of that action too.
Yeah, that's the thing about Richmond. You can race, too wide almost all the way around the track. It's not too hard to do that, but it's when you start pushing it 3 wide because you kind of get spoiled on that, on the start finish line there. You can make it 3 wide there, but you're going to want to try and get down to 2 wide before you make it through turn 1.
Indeed, you were so correct there. Like Andrew Teff is working on Lee Campbell pretty hard. He's looking to the inside, but he can't. He's thinking better of it. I mean, we're only 17 laps in. We still got a long way to go.
Yeah, there's plenty of time to get to where you want to be and set yourself up. And we have 163 laps. It is 65% fuel as usual. And you do have, 4 sets of tires lying in the pits. I'm going to say they're going to be able to make it. I'm going to say they might even have to make 3 pit stops depending on how they drive. And it's not necessarily for fuel, but maybe tires as they work through.
I think I agree with you. I think you can do it on 3. You might, if you can get in the fuel conservation mode, you might be able to do it on 2. We're watching Andrew Teff there in the number 19 or in the number 98 High Point Ford Performance Ford Mustang, and he's got a rear view mirror full of Gordon Spain and Daniel Honeycutt as this battle for 6th position is heating up in a hurry. I think, and these guys are biding their time, Mike. They're just being patient, trying to make laps, see what they have. And Gordon Spain's going to take a look on the inside of Andrew Teff coming through the trial.
We're under caution. See what happened here.
Like George Sprinkle's gonna hit the wall there, and it looks like Jeremy Carter's gonna finish him off.
That looked like it was dicey from the beginning. You have Truth Hoke sliding up in front of Jeremy Carter. Carter hard on the brakes to not run over Truth.
Here comes
Aaron Marquis there. George Sprinkle was trying to check up. Truth Hoke trying to turn and stay down. Not able to do that. Jeremy Carter sliding in down below as well.
I think Carter just got a piece of the action there.
Yeah, just barely on the door. Sent Sprinkle up into the wall. That's gonna do it for the 21 machine there. We have a couple of guys coming down pit lane. Ira Kohlhaas, Dennis Kane, Alex Teft, Brandon Sanfilippo, Dwayne McMahon, Truth Hope coming in, Brendan Honeycutt, and George Sprinkle, of course.
That's the second caution of the night.
I'm going to assume we're going to see Austin go to the high side once again. Get his teammate back behind him. or go to the low side to get his teammate back behind him. Corey's in third now. Just doing some checking on some stats for Thomas. Doesn't look like, Thomas, that Truth did finish top 5 last night. He's finished a bunch inside the top 10 though.
All right, Mike. So check this out. So this is the number of caution for incidents at Richmond from 2002 to present day. So I'll just throw out a random year. 2023 in the spring race they had 14 cautions, and in the fall race they had 12 cautions in the 2020 or 2003, right?
Yeah.
So that's a random little factoid. I don't know if we'll get anywhere close to any of those numbers in cautions, but nonetheless, we're green.
And just like I said, Austin stayed down to the inside, got Bull behind him, and they roll off 1-2 here.
You know what, Mike? I feel like since Chicago, was a statement win for Austin Smith. After he had a few weeks of bad luck, I feel like that he just wanted to. He's like, you know what? I'm the real deal this year. So I feel like Chicago, and I said at Chicago, I feel like that was a statement win for Austin Smith.
Yeah, we'll see what Austin's going to do when he gets back after his vacation. He's going to miss, I think, the next couple races.
I tell you what, though, right now, Andrew Tuft has got a rear view mirror full of Todd Slauson and Kinsley Smith as they're battling hard. And that's for P8.
Yeah, Andrew's staying up on that high line, not able to get down because he keeps having drivers just to his inside as he's able to slide down this time, get in front of Todd Slauson. Slauson and Kinsley Smith side by side. Ian Campbell trying to close in as well.
Yeah, here comes Andrew Tuft, and he's finally starting to pull away from Kinsley Smith and Todd Slauson there in the 88 and Ian Campbell. But he's still going to encounter them guys in front of him as this battle it looks like it's going to be a battle for P6 right now as Daniel Honeycutt's right on the back bumper of Ronnie Norman.
Yeah, he is not getting off that bumper at all as he's rolling through here. Honeycutt definitely has to make up either a bunch of points in the next couple races or have a win, and he'll basically lock himself in to the chase. And I know he wants to do that, talking to him. He's got Andrew Tuft right behind him. Tuft gets a little loose there coming off of turn number 4, headed down the front stretch. Gets that car back in, but Tuft is moving forward a little bit faster than some of the other drivers that are falling back pretty quickly here.
Yeah, I feel like, Daniel Honeycutt, maybe holding him up a little bit, and he's having to work the throttle and try to stay out of the back of Daniel Honeycutt, which allows Kinsley Smith to catch up to him. So this is an interesting little battle that we got going on here for, essentially P6 with Ronnie Norman. But yeah, then again, as Honeycutt looks to the inside of Norman this time, and he just can't quite get there. He can get to the door, but Norman seems like to get the upper hand there.
Yeah, it looks like 3 and 4, Daniel Honeycutt's pretty tight. As I just saw Puffenbarger almost check that outside wall and lose control there a little bit, it looked like. But I was going to say, Honeycutt seems to have a better 3 and 4 than Norman, but Norman battles back on 1 and 2. But Honeycutt makes that pass there.
Honeycutt, yeah, I was going to say Honeycutt just makes the pass. He finally gets it complete. As he's going to work on Gordon Spain there in the Logitech number 33. Norman, with an evasive move, goes to the outside.
Yeah, it looked like Teff was had a run there and got just to the inside of Norman. Norman checked up, slid up the track just a little bit. Got a battle here with Kinsley Smith back here with Ian Campbell. Todd Slauson holding on as well. All these guys are battling in, trying to stay inside that top 10 as we're working lap 38 here. You see Gordon Spain going to the inside of Lee Campbell, going to make the pass, see if Honeycutt's going to come with him or try and force it 3 wide. Ronnie Norman goes inside outside, thinks better of jumping behind Lee Campbell and gets behind Honeycutt as they'll try and make the pass on the 14 machine.
Yeah, you got Lee Campbell and Ronnie Norman just battling it out right now. As Norman's working the inside, but here comes Andrew Teft. He's trying for P8, or no, 7, sorry, 7.
That's
there,
7.
he's working Lee Campbell pretty hard on the inside there.
Yeah, battling back and forth they go. Ian Campbell trying to close in on both Lee and Andrew Teft.
Here comes Ian Campbell. He's working Lee Campbell.
Yeah, Ian Campbell's been pretty fast throughout the season. We've seen him get up, run up front for a little while. Has a little bit of bad, I don't know, karma or something. I don't know. It just comes out and bites him all the time when he's running, especially when he's putting together a good run.
I tell you what, if I was Ian Campbell right now, I'd make a list of all the bad things I did and start making up for him. Maybe he'll put some good runs together after that one.
Go back through the field a little bit. Looks like we have quite a battle back here with Truth. Brandon Sanfilippo on the high side.
There's Ira Kohlhaas there in the 29 car.
Ira Kohlhaas hanging out as well.
And it looks like we got Matthew Jarrett there in 80 car trying to make a move on Ira.
Ira's had some weather issues the last few weeks, I think.
Yeah,
with the tornado and then the snow and.
Yeah, we're definitely thinking about all the viewers there that are on the East Coast and in the Carolinas. They've been rocked pretty hard there, and as you're riding with Ira Kohlhaas there, the Woodlawn, Tennessee driver.
These guys are battling back and forth back here in the field. I mean, you got Lee Campbell falling back pretty quickly here after he was battling for a while towards the front. Alex Teft all over that back bumper, though.
Yeah, Alex Teft is almost scraping the paint off the back bumper of Lee Campbell's number 14 Goodyear Chevrolet.
This mid-pack racing is all over the place. These guys are not giving each other really any room. They're staying pretty clean side-by-side action through most of it here. As it looks like we have an incident in front of them.
I was going to say if
Gordon Spain.
The 33 car? No. Not 30. Let's see what happened here. It looks like Gordon Spain. Ooh.
Just got a little help there.
Gordon Spain had a little bit of help from his friends there.
On board with Ian Campbell here. Not much you could really do about that. Looks like the 33 was slowing down and Campbell just wasn't quite ready for it. At least not that much of a slowdown.
Well, we're on lap 49 of 163, and it's our third caution. And it seems like the whole field came down that time.
Yeah, I'm going to say everybody, well, almost everybody did. Look, we still got Brandon Sanfilippo out there, Brandon Honeycutt, Dennis Kane. They all came down on lap 22, so maybe playing a little bit of strategy call here as they're going to get some track position, get up towards the front, see if maybe racing's a little cleaner up there.
I believe it is. And it looks like Austin Smith will win the race off of pit road. Poffenberger and Corral. Cole Haas is going to line up there in the 7th position.
Well, here, now that's some interesting strategy. Looks like Ira just came down, got fuel only. Spent 6.75 seconds in his pit box. Got him some track position. Got him up there in front of that 72 Toyota and the 8 Chevy. So we'll see if that's going to be the right strategy call for Ira. Try and get up there, maybe get away from some of the guys that he'd been racing around for most of the race here.
Now, when we go back to green, Mike, Austin Smith is on fresh tires. So, if you're saying Flippo or Honeycutt or Kane, you might be pondering life's decisions right now.
Yeah, there is that. I mean, we've seen it last night, and especially at Pocono, in the Cup and Xfinity. Guys taking fresh tires are able to make all the moves they wanted, while the guys on older tires go back through the field. Brought out one of the cautions last night towards the end of the race after they were trying to get some track position. Was definitely not the correct call last night, but we'll see what happens here as these guys get ready to stack them back up here. Sanfilippo down on the inside, Honeycutt on the high side. I think if I'm Honeycutt, I might just try and let Sanfilippo get away just a little bit so I can slide down behind him and let Austin go by. But that bottom line's not too much better as Puffenbarger's sitting back there third on the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm going to make a move, I'm probably going to do the same move that you just said. Just let him get out a little bit, and hopefully Gordon Spain doesn't, or Dennis Kane isn't right there on his bumper, as Sanfilippo's got the button, and we are green and away. And it looks like Brandon Honeycutt is going to stay to the high side and then drop right back in line behind Sanfilippo.
Yeah, it looks like Honeycutt almost spun his tires as that outside lane got stacked up a little bit. Austin Smith hanging in third as he's working his way through. That outside line is moving forward a lot faster than the inside line is, as Dennis Kane is falling back on those older tires.
Yeah, Brandon Honeycutt said, you know what, I'll just go to the inside line. And that's the byproduct that's the risk you take with taking no pit stop there, is Daniel Honeycutt. I mean, Brandon Honeycutt's losing wholesale positions right now as he's falling all the way back to 6th position, and he's losing a whole lot more
There is a gaggle of guys back here, almost 4 wide as Lee Campbell was rolling the apron, almost trying to get up in front of them. Dennis Kane's not too far in front of him. Dennis Kane started second on that inside row, and he is currently back to 15th. Still positive for the race. We'll see if he's going to be able to hang on here. You're really looking, if you're staying out like that on, lap 22, you're looking at basically a net positive. Ira Kohlhaas also on those older tires. He fell back through the field after taking fuel only on that last pit stop as well.
I mean, they got 4 sets of tires. So, maybe... Excuse me. Maybe the strategy call that they wanted that last step for the end, providing there's a green-white checker, so you sacrifice now, and you're basically in the middle part of the race become the sacrificial lamb, and you say, you know what, let's not take the tires now, let's save them for the end.
Yeah, Brandon Sanfilippo also fading back now. He is almost wall riding there in that 27 machine. Truth Hope going to go to his inside, make it 3 wide with Spain down on the bottom. Sanfilippo up high. Spain able to get through there. Looked like Jarrett Larder might have checked the wall just a little bit coming out of the corner.
Yeah, I don't think it's going anywhere. These guys have been trying to knock the wall down here for the last couple weeks now, and the wall will win every time.
Oh, definitely. Well, as it just comes out of nowhere, they're trying to get you.
Marshall Harris, he's in the 32 Ford Mustang. He made his Racers Elite debut last night at Pocono. Had a pretty good showing until he didn't have a good showing, which was at the end of the race when we had calamity happen. But nonetheless, he had a good showing last night, so we wanted to shout him out, and we hope that he will be back for future races next season.
Yeah, he definitely made a few guys nervous as he was trying to stretch it as far as he could on one pit stop. Didn't quite have enough to make it. Wound up coming down pit lane with 7 or 8 laps to go. And then calamity happened, and we had a couple green-white checkers to finish out the race, but definitely tried something there to try and make it work. Daniel Honeycutt up into P2. Corey Kroll back there in 3rd. Brandon Puffenbarger, after getting stuck on that bottom line, is up into 4th. Kinsley Smith, heck of a drive here as he's up 21 spots running P5.
21 spots. Think about that. He's passed a lot of cars tonight. And we're only 64 laps into a 163 lap race. So we essentially have 100 laps to go here in Richmond.
Yeah, definitely. And as we're talking about Richmond, NASCAR elected to drop a new rules package for short tracks and road courses today, hopefully to improve the quality of racing that we see on track.
I never agreed with the shifting at the short track.
Yeah, definitely. They changed the diffuser, changed the rear spoiler, and tried to make it better racing. So we'll see what happens when they get there. They tested quite a bit at Phoenix.
I feel like that's going to be a pretty good race now. I'm excited to see the new short track package come out, once we get to Phoenix there, and I want to say it's going to be week 3 or 2 of the season.
Yeah, it's going to be first short track that they're going to use it at. I believe it's going to be Phoenix. I think that's early March, so we'll see if that's going to how that's going to play out, as they did test there and tried to improve that racing. And from all intents and purposes, everybody's saying it's going to be good racing that was there at the test. Even drivers seem to agree with that.
I agree right now that this battle between Smith and Honeycutt's about to get pretty good if Honeycutt continues the pace that he's running.
Well, Honeycutt's been the bridesmaid the last couple weeks, so we'll see if he's going to be able to jump up there and get the win.
Bride?
Yeah, you know.
I mean, you gotta think about it. What more does he need to do? I mean, he's done all the right things to get himself in position to win these races, and yet he just falls a little bit short.
Well, it's just like last week. He elected to take 4 tires on towards the end of the race there. Had a couple cautions, and that just threw his whole strategy out the window. I think if we stayed green, he would have been up there racing Ronnie for the win. But those last cautions slowed him down, and he wound up coming in P2 there. As we see this battle between Kroll and Puffenbarger, back and forth they go.
Kroll and Puffenbarger working those cars pretty hard, as Puffenbarger's going to make the move on the outside. Can he get by him? He's at the door. And not quite. They're still neck and neck. As Puffenbarger's going to try to pull a power move on Corey Kroll coming down through the trial. Puffenbarger, it seems like that outside just doesn't have enough to clear the inside line there.
No, watching these two go around the track, it looks like the inside line's a little bit faster on entry, but on exit, Puffenbarger is able to drive off, and it looks like he's going to finally be able to make the pass here on Kroll. Kinsley Smith watching that all go on, and looks like he's going to move to the outside. Ian Campbell trying to close in on Kinsley Smith. Has to watch his rearview mirror as Ronnie Norman's closing in as well.
Here comes Smith, Campbell, and it looks like it's going to be Ronnie Norman. They are all battling for P5 as Ian Campbell is setting himself up to pass Kinsley Smith. Can he make it a 2-for-1 special, which Ronnie Norman's trying to go to. Two DEI inspired cars battling it out pretty hard, coming out of 2.
It's amazing how different drivers are able to drive the different lines. Like we saw between Kroll and Puffenbarger there. Puffenbarger ran that outside line perfectly and was able to get by. But just a few feet behind him, you had Kinsley Smith and Ian Campbell. Kinsley Smith being in the high line, just couldn't quite hold on enough, and Ian Campbell made the pass, and Ronnie Norman did as well. And now Kinsley Smith goes back down to the inside lane and is just going to try and hang on here inside that top 7 right now. He's still up 19 spots from where he started, so he's been driving that car pretty hard as they work their way through lap 78 here.
It looks like Norman's going to check the wall there.
Let's see back through here, see what other action we have as these guys have started to slowly get spread out. Like Truth Hoax back here battling with Jarrett and Carter.
I don't suspect it'll be too long before we see Austin Smith start catching the back of the field here. So far, George Sprinkle and Ryan Coker have had their fun meters pegged out for the night.
Yeah, George Sprinkle definitely did. Like Dennis Kane is on pit lane, getting his service.
Are you saying we're going to see green flag pit stop?
Well, I think we're going to get pretty close. I mean, everybody came down on lap 48. And they're going to want to get to...
I would say at least 90.
Well, if they're going to make it one more pit stop, they're going to want to get to like 105, 110 to feel comfortable, I think.
I can see that.
But we'll see if that's going to come to fruition here as Austin Smith is making the pass on San Filippo. That kind of slowed him down a little bit, and Honeycutt is closing in on that rear bumper. We'll see if Honeycutt's going to be able to hang here with Austin Smith for a while. I mean, still got, like you said, a little under 100 laps to go.
I mean, Honeycutt, Mike, has been glued to Austin Smith like his bumper's got super glue on it. As these guys, next cars are getting ready to come up on is Joshua Neal there in the number 82 car. And so, on these short tracks, you kind of want, if you're Austin Smith, you're communicating to these guys that these two are coming, and they're gonna get the blue and yellow striped flag, as Joshua Neal makes it pretty easy for these two just to go on by, and it should be McMahon. Dwayne McMahon will be the next car to go a lot down to Austin Smith and Daniel Honeycutt.
Now these guys have basically a 3.5 second lead over Brandon Puffenbarger as he is just now coming into the corner as they're getting off of it.
Yeah, Austin Smith and Daniel Honeycutt's got these guys smothered and covered and chopped up like the Waffle House hash browns.
Kroll is trying to hang on here. It's just not working too well as he is fading back through the field. He's still positive position on track, but Ian Campbell and Ronnie Norman are going to go by here momentarily. And it looks like Kinsley Smith is going to try and close in to the back of the 20 as well.
I would like to see Kinsley Smith get a win here before the chase starts.
Ian Campbell gets loose in front of Ronnie Norman, slides down to the inside, and there they go battling off into turn number 4. Norman goes high. Going to be able to get that drive off the corner and make the pass here on Ian Campbell. Kinsley Smith still looking to the high side of Kroll.
I think if Ronnie Norman and Brendan Poffenberger can get by these cars, they can start making their way towards Honeycutt and Austin Smith. But right now, you got Aaron Marquis just holding these guys up right now.
And Ronnie Norman trying to get by as Marquis is just basically, I mean, he's running his race. He's not really changing lines continuously or anything like that, but definitely taking the more preferred line instead of moving over. As he is 2 laps down.
2 laps down.
Austin Smith makes a pass on Dwayne McMahon. And Austin Smith is starting to drive away from Honeycutt, almost a second lead now.
That's what the eyeball test shows. So I recall also would be the next car to go a lap down to Austin Smith. Actually, it would be Kohlhaas Hoke, Scheinbackler, and Sam Flippo, if he could complete the path.
It looks like Truth.
Jarrett, sorry.
Yeah, Truth is having some issues there in that 59 machine.
I think he just wants a Reese's.
As he is trying to hold on here. Working lap 93 now. All these guys just in front of the leaders are all over the track. It is going to slow Austin Smith down. There's no way he's going to be able to try and work around all 6 of these cars. Truth stays high. It looks like is 3 wide in front of him. Ira Kohlhaas, Jarrett, and it looks like Shane Backler there. Smith gets by Hoke. Shane Backler pulls down to the inside.
Jarrett tried to see if the wall would move, and it doesn't. Steenbecker is going to go lap down to Smith here, within the next couple corners at least.
Yeah, Austin Smith has got to be getting a little bit nervous running inside of Jarrett into the outside of Shane Backler. They're 3 wide through the corner, and Austin Smith puts his foot to the floor and gets by. Now he's looking at Jarrett Larder, who's down to the inside, going to make that pass, come up on Ira Kohlhaas and Jeremy Carter here. Kohlhaas goes clear down to the bottom, going to try and stay out of his way.
Here comes Austin Smith to put Kohlhaas a lap down.
Yeah, but look,
he's hanging on now.
Look at how easy Austin Smith just made that look. Daniel Honeycutt is losing time now as he is stuck behind Jarrett and Shane Backler trying to make some passes here.
I think Daniel Honeycutt's starting to sweat a little bit when he sees all these cars. Lap traffic definitely coming into play as we are just shy of 60 something to go. I think it's like 64, 65.
Getting almost to that century mark here. Looks like Honeycutt was thinking about making it 3 wide, thought better of it, decided he's just going to keep his car clean, stay down to the inside, and just slowly pass one car at a time here.
Looks like Michael Brooks is going to come on down pit road. And Austin Smith is going to go to work on Jeremy Carter.
Going to make that pass pretty easy. Jeremy Carter, Ira Kohlhaas are battling for position as well, so trying to help Ira just a little bit as he's able to close the gap on Carter. That's got to be a lot better view here for Austin Smith as he's looking out his front window and don't see anybody coming yet.
Looks like Brandon Honeycutt is going to go down and get his service.
I don't know about that, Thomas. Thomas in the YouTube chat said he feels like the next caution Austin should be put at the end of the line for better racing.
I don't know about that either.
I've seen Austin drive angry through the middle of the field, and I think that's exactly what would happen if he got caught there like that.
Oh yeah. They do that in dirt racing sometimes at the local dirt track. So if a guy wins too much, they'll put him in the back.
We've seen that happen here and there. You know, you qualify and then you flip the qualifying, or like the top 15, so it's not quite at the back, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, they do the old invert, buddy. At that point, then you start. Then you don't qualify as well, so you get back in front. Or they might even put a bounty out too.
Battling 3 wide back here as well. Alex Teft, Marquis, Campbell. We are under caution.
Number 4.
Not sure what for.
Yeah, no, it wasn't him.
Maybe Sam Filippo. Wow, there we go. Let's see what happened to Brandon. Whoa.
And he got loose. No one drives it. He just nosed it right into the wall. I think he's going to be good to go.
Almost backed out into traffic.
nonetheless, Austin Smith is they're going to bring it on down for services.
Well, while they're doing that, let's step aside and take a break here. And we'll see what happens when we come back.
Sounds good.
And we are back under green flag racing. Austin Smith leading the race. Daniel Honeycutt just to his outside. Brandon Puffenbarger, Ronnie Norman battling out there as well.
Yeah, I think this is the situation that Daniel Honeycutt wanted right now. It was to be on, essentially on, Puffenbarger got a little bit loose there, but nonetheless, we're going back to Daniel Honeycutt, where I think Daniel Honeycutt now has a shot where he's not too far behind Austin Smith. So I think Austin or Honeycutt's got something for Smith.
Ronnie Norman got a little loose there. Yeah, Honeycutt definitely wanted to see that caution come out because he was stuck behind some lapped cars. Couldn't get a good run through them and wound up almost 2 seconds back of Austin Smith when that caution came out. That caution came out at just the right time as everybody was able to make their pit stop. I believe that's probably going to be the last one of the race unless some unforeseen circumstance happen here.
And I just don't see that happening, but you never know. We're under caution number 5. Maybe tough.
They got Lee Campbell here. Like he just goes off track just a little bit. Nothing too bad there. Andrew Teft up in front of him. Oh, already loose.
It might be a case where he just hit the apron or got into the corner a little too hard.
Yeah, it looks like he was just coming in pretty quick here. Didn't see the 32 coming down, so he let off, trying to slow it down, and that just got him to spin around.
Well, he didn't hit nothing or nobody, so no harm, no foul. He just brings out the caution and gets it going again.
Andrew Teft coming down pit lane.
I mean, at this point, you really got nothing to lose. You're essentially playing with house money at this point, so.
I mean, if you think you can that they weren't going to make it when they put it on lap 106, and a couple more laps in, we're looking at 115, 116, depending on how they score it when they come out. I mean, those 10 laps might be enough just to make it where you can finish the race. So we'll see what the strategy all consists of here. Because if they can't make it from 106, they're going to have to make that pit stop, and you might just be sitting in the catbird seat there.
Right. I think that Austin Smith goes into conservation mode. But I also think that Daniel Honeycutt gets the restart of his career and pulls the power move against Austin Smith.
Well, he definitely will have time to think about it for a little bit here.
The things you think about in the race car.
Yep. What did I mess up last time? How can I do it better?
Jeremy Carter's fun meter's been picked for the night.
Looks like we have a few that are a lap down still hanging out.
I was hoping for a good run for Truth Oak, but it just wasn't meant to be. I think we're going to have a little over 40 to go when they come by.
I'm going to say we're going to see Truth bring home the victory at Michigan. That's in a couple weeks. I think Michigan fits him. Lights are out on the pace car. We are racked and stacked and ready to go once again.
Yeah, I think Daniel Honeycutt's gonna get the whole shot going into turn one on Austin Smith.
Pace car is in Austin, down and away, slides up in front of Honeycutt. Honeycutt's going to try and hold on to that back bumper. Looks like Puffenbarger's going to slide into P3, so they're almost single file through the top four, and probably will be when they slide off, and they are. Corey Kroll hits that outside wall just a little bit there.
I think if they hit that wall enough, they'll get it to move, but I'm not for sure.
Yeah, might make it out there. Alex Teft back here kind of in the mid-pack. Got Marshall Harris trying to move forward. Kyle Cooper. And I think I just saw Jared Larder almost try and get that car on two wheels as he went from the high side clear down to the bottom. driving it as hard as he could just in front of Truth there.
Yeah, he's battling Matthew Jarrett pretty hard. As we got a whole gaggle of cars.
Yeah, side by side here for 3 rows. Lee Campbell trying to drive up through. Andrew Teft is on the freshest tires as he came down on lap 115, trying to hold on here, get back inside that top 10. Has the car to do it. He can just get by, looks like Spain and Alex down on the inside there.
Yeah, here comes Taft on Taft. And Gordon Spain, he recovered nicely as he's working his way around Ian Campbell and trying to get by Todd Slauson. And this right here is a battle for 9th, as both Tafts are on the back bumper of Ian Campbell, and Andrew is on the back bumper of Gordon Spain and that Logitech number 33 Chevy Camaro.
Just look at the damage down on the inside of that 33. See his bumper just caved in just a little bit here, right on board with Andrew Teft.
Oh, that'll buff out. That'll so buff out. It's a short track, it doesn't matter. These cars aren't as aero dependent on the short tracks as they are on the 1.5 miles in the super speedways. That might even make them handle a little bit better, get the spoiler out of the air.
Yeah, sometimes it does. We've seen it at some of these short tracks. You get a little bump here or a little pull there, and all of a sudden your car's 5 to 10 mile an hour faster.
Maybe that's why they're trying to knock the wall down.
Andrew Teft turns Ian Campbell.
Caution number 6.
The same thing that we've been seeing most of the night. You'll see it here. Ian just slows up a little bit faster than Andrew does, and Andrew has nowhere to go. I mean, by that time, it's too late. I mean, you're already there, so.
I will say this, though, Mike. So far, with the cautions, we have tied the 2006 fall race and the 2011 spring race with caution periods.
Yep. Ian Campbell almost got another touch there from Alex after he got a little bump there. A little bump. Nowhere to go. Andrew's locking him up. Well, Jarrett got into Larder a little bit there as well. Everybody coming down to make pit stops once again. So that is probably definitely going to be the money stop. Well, Marshall Harris is going to try and hang out one more time on this front end here.
Maybe he saved a little bit more tonight than he did yesterday at Pocono. And I gotta give Harris credit. I mean, he's making his debut in the middle of the season where there's a points race going on, and as a driver, that makes me nervous when you debut in a new series, and the guys are already a little skittish, and there's points racing going on. I just feel that, you know, I guess this is his time to audition and show these guys that he's actually here and he means business going into next season.
Well, we've got Marshall Harris last pitted on lap 106. Andrew Teft 115, Lee Campbell 115. And then you've got Brandon Puffenbarger, who elected to maybe do right sides only. Spent 9 seconds in his pit lane. Kyle Cooper as well. Austin Smith and Daniel Honeycutt, Ronnie Norman all took their full service there.
Looks like we got 31 to go. So when we come back to green, I believe, we should have 30 to go. Maybe 29 because the lights are still on. The Iracing.com pace car.
Looks like Dwayne McMahon's gonna be floated to the back of the field. It looks like he is a lap down. Well, thank everybody for.
So far, Marshall Harris is your biggest point, is your biggest mover right now, up 19 spots.
Yeah, it definitely is. They're getting stacked up. Looks like trying to pick what lane they want. Takes the inside. I want to thank everybody on YouTube for tuning in as always. Sarah checking in, cheering on Teft. Side by side. This is going to be a little interesting. We have Marshall with 106 on his tires. Takes off like he was shot out of a cannon. Gets almost a half-second lead. Lee Campbell is trying to get up into second. Andrew Teft floats high. And behind him, Austin Smith makes it 3 wide between Puffenbarger and Honeycutt. Andrew Teft goes to block. 3 wide still. Honeycutt, Smith. Oh, my. Smith was not in a place he wanted to be. They're still 3 wide. Crawl goes around sideways.
Please stay green.
Looks like Spain was down on the rail too. They're still side-by-side racing here. Honeycutt finally looks like he's going to clear Teft there. Norman looking to make it 3 wide.
Here comes Honeycutt to the inside of Lee Campbell there for P3.
And we're under caution for the 7th time tonight.
As Sarah says, she's fuckered.
Everybody checks up in front. Larder, Marquis. Oh, Honeycutt. Everybody was checking up there for no apparent reason.
Well, Mike, if you were a fan of the 2004 spring race, it had 7 cautions in that Richmond race.
Honeycutt was basically an innocent bystander.
That would be the right place at the wrong time.
He was trying to make his way through, just couldn't do it. Andrew Teft coming down to get 4 fresh tires, I would assume. We're doing that. Let's see if we can see.
Tell you what, though, Mike,
Go back here and look at this real quick.
If you like the color yellow, this is your night.
All right, trying to see where Corey off track here. See what happened. Corey's the number 20 there. Gordon Spain in front of him. You see everybody kind of bouncing around. Corey goes down to the inside, gets touched just a little bit, and then loses it on the apron. So I thought I saw the 20 go sideways there, but
so I was thinking Honeycutt is in P2 of Kyle Cooper there in the 73 Burger King Ford Mustang. You like Flame Griller Whoppers and that car is making you hungry? Get on down to Burger King. Get your Whopper.
That's way too far. I wouldn't make it that far. But I guess that's what happens when you live in BFE. So.
Yeah. Kind of out in the middle of nowhere, aren't you?
Yeah, pretty much. Almost closer to go to Yellowstone than it is to Burger King. So. Kyle Cooper gonna lead him on down, see if he goes inside or outside.
Let's see. I think they got to make their choice by this lap, right?
Yeah. Looks like he's going to the inside, so Honeycutt's going to be on the high side with Austin Smith behind him. I'm sure Austin's glad to see everybody that decided to make the pit stop there. Move back in the field a little ways. Kyle Cooper trying to play pit strategy perfection here as he is up 9 spots. Kinsley Smith, though, in that 15 ride, he's up 20 spots in the Napa 15. Like, he's coming out of nowhere here.
Yeah, where did he come from? There's a commercial with Michael Waltrip where he's at the wrong track. Maybe that's where he came from. Nonetheless, Kyle Cooper with the throttle, and he's on the loud pedal, and he gets the whole shot over Daniel Honeycutt going down into turn number 1. But here comes Boxberger looking to the inside, but he thinks better of it. And Daniel Honeycutt's going to try to fight back and hold off Poffenberger. But here comes Austin Smith and Ronnie Norman to the inside as Austin Smith makes the power move on Poffenberger. And he is in P3 looking for more as they come down the back straightaway. And here comes Ronnie Norman making the outside move, but Poffenberger's going to block. So far, Poffenberger's got more blocks than Jordan Bennington of the St. Louis Blues. They're playing pretty bad right now.
Yeah, that's a lot of them. Poffenberger getting a little help from Ronnie Norman, see if he's going to be able to push past Austin Smith. And as that's going on, Daniel Honeycutt loves seeing that, and here's rear view mirror as he is closing in on Kyle Cooper. Kyle Cooper was out to almost a half-second lead. Now it is down to about a quarter, and Austin Smith and Poffenberger still side by side battling it out. Kinsley Smith trying to close in, and we're under caution for the 8th time tonight.
8 cautions. Tonight's race is sponsored by the color of yellow. So 2002 and 2008 spring race produced 8 cautions. And we'll even say 2005, the year I graduated high school. Great year. If that doesn't make people in the chat feel old, I don't know what will.
It looks like he just lost it there. Able to get it back under control.
Tough break for Marshall Harris because he was having a good run there.
See what's going on here with the 41 machine.
Like hurt feelings, maybe.
I think there's a form for that. Go see your HR director, and I'm sure they'll have it for you.
I don't think there's a pamphlet for bent sheet metal and hurt feelings, though. With 17 to go. this, Michael, this is fitting to get good though.
Well, I almost, when I was typing out our intro in the YouTube, I almost asked, who do you think's going to win? The track or the tempers?
I think the tempers are, yeah, I'll take the over on the temper.
I mean, you always see it at short tracks. You know, it's usually a lot more take than give, but these guys are doing a pretty good job. I mean, we're 8 cautions in, what, 100 and almost 150 laps, so not too bad for the amount of racing they've been putting on here. And they'll be back at it tomorrow in the next gen, so
Plenty of opportunity to get even, right? So, Michael, this is your Saturday night short track restart here. This is when it gets good. You're down to 15 laps to go. And right now, Kyle Cooper is in the catbird seat. And I think he might have played a little bit of strategy. And, you know, he's, barring anything happens, I mean, I wouldn't say he's a favorite because Daniel Honeycutt looks really strong like he has the last couple of weeks.
like he's going to take probably the inside lane again, looks like.
That's been the money lane for him the last restart. He got out to that start. He launched pretty good on the inside line.
Yeah, sometimes at these races, it's not so much about where you are, it's who's behind you. And he's going to have Austin Smith behind him with Ronnie Norman back there. That outside lane is going to be pretty quick as well, as you have Daniel Honeycutt, Brandon Puffenbarger, and Kinsley Smith. Smith is still working his way up, trying to get himself inside that top 5.
I think this is going to be Daniel Honeycutt's chance to win the race right here. If there's ever a chance, this is going to be it. As we are getting ready to see an absolute dogfight when we come back to the green flag here through the Geico restart zone. Kyle Cooper with the loud pedal, and we are off and running, and Kyle Cooper gets out to a jump like he's never had before. He's been shot out of a cannon, and Daniel Honeycutt is right there with them, trying everything he can, but here comes Austin Smith on the inside, and he's going to slide up in behind Daniel Honeycutt, but nonetheless, Kyle Cooper is off to almost a half-second lead, Michael.
Yeah, Kyle Cooper got a pretty good jump. Daniel Honeycutt's able to make pretty quick work of Austin Smith hanging in P2. Ronnie Norman, Brandon Puffenbarger go side by side. Kinsley Smith looking to the inside of Puffenbarger, going to try and make a little pass here as Puffenbarger goes down, so Kinsley goes high. Todd Slauson on the inside of Smith. There's even more great racing as we go back just inside the top 10. Gordon Spain, Alex Teft, Ira Kohaus side by side. Kroll also trying to make it inside the top 10 as they are going around in the back there. Looks like Marshall went around sideways as he is stopped on the inside. Not sure. Looks like we're still staying green though.
Please stay green.
Oh, Austin Smith got sit into the outside wall.
And he's going to lose wholesale positions.
You remember what I said about drive angry? And we're finally under caution here.
Number 10.
So, first we're going to go look at this one.
It looks like Schellenbecker kind of squeezed McMahon and then came down, and Marshall Harris was there. Another one of those wrong time or right spot, wrong time moves. And then Austin just gets loose.
It looks like he gets a run, tries to turn the wheel down. Looks like he checked up as he was driving in a little deep there.
He got a little bit of right side damage there on the fender. So, 2005 fall and 2006 spring was your 10 caution race. Oh, and 2002 fall. And mind you, this stat is before the stage cautions too, Mike. So we're not counting stage cautions, debris. We're counting legitimate accidents is what we're seeing here. Oh, sorry, 9 cautions. I rounded up to 10. So it's actually 2007 fall race was or spring race was the 9 caution race. And that's it.
Do you know who has the most victories here at Richmond?
Ooh, the most victories. I want to say Gordon this time.
Nope.
Man.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Is he associated with any like Petties?
He is.
Is it Lee Petty?
Nope.
Richard.
Yep. 13 wins.
13. Do you know who won the first race here at Richmond? The very first NASCAR sanctioned race.
Oh. Lee?
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
I don't have a button for that, but it's a menu.
They're getting ready to get stacked back up. 6 laps to go. 5 when we take that green flag. So just outside that green-white checker.
They call this a dash.
Yeah, checkers or wreckers. Here we go.
Either bring the trophy or bring the steering wheel. That's all we know.
Pace car is in. Kyle Cooper with the button. Norman on the back bumper. Cooper plays a little cat and mouse as he gets going late in the zone and gets out to that half-second lead almost. Honeycutt trying to hang tight. Norman inside. Side by side they go. They're 3 wide back behind them between Spain, Slauson, and Puffenbarger.
Yeah, here comes Gordon Spain. What a run he's had tonight. As Slauson's going to slide up the racetrack. Gordon Spain's going to get just a little out of shape, but not too bad. Not too bad. We got 4 to go.
And we're under caution.
Okay. So now the previous stat stands. Good thing I rounded up, right?
Yeah, let's see what happened. I'm not even sure what happened. Maybe Brandon Honeycutt here. Let's see. Oh,
It looks
slows
like he
down.
checked up.
Slows down not to hit Larder. Ends up sideways in the corner.
I mean, good on Honeycutt for not running Jarrett Larder over. Well, now green white checkers. Kyle Cooper's drove a great race so far, man. He's done all the things right to keep Daniel Honeycutt and Ronnie Norman behind him. But does he have enough? Is Daniel Honeycutt racing against the weaker Kyle Cooper now as we get ready for green white checkers?
I think Kyle Cooper has got to be, I'm going to say, exhausted after the end of this race, after having to restart with those guys behind him. I mean, Honeycutt, and then he had Austin Smith back there. Puffenbarger. I mean, even Kinsley Smith now, he's up inside the top 5 now, up 21 spots. That's
amazing.
I mean, before we had this rash of cautions here, we were down to like, let's say 11 cars on the lead lap, and now we're already back to 20 as Joshua Neal got the wave around there, or the lucky dog to go back on the lead lap.
Yeah. So I think he'll be able to make up some wholesale ground there and try to salvage a decent night. But Daniel Honeycutt there, nonetheless, in second position, gotta be thinking, what can I do to get around this car? I've done everything I can. And maybe he's hoping that by some miracle that he chooses the inside line.
Like they're getting ready to go back to green. They get stacked up.
And the lights are going to go out this time by on the Iracing.com base car.
We got the 72, 73 on row 1, 5 and 8 row 2. Well, there's only one Toyota inside the top 12.
You know, and if Daniel Honeycutt can get by Kyle Cooper, this would be epic for Daniel Honeycutt, because he's worked so hard.
Pace car is in as we get ready to roll. Kyle Cooper into the restart zone. He is down and away. Honeycutt caught a little bit flat-footed there as he's battling Ronnie Norman. Once again has Brandon Puffenbarger all over his back bumper. Puffenbarger gets into the wall there with a little help.
That's going to shuffle Honeycutt back to third.
Well, let's see what happened here. So there's the restart. You can just see how far out in front Kyle Cooper is.
Gordon Spain
just sent it in there as Puffenbarger was trying to slow down a little bit. Honeycutt comes in and gives him a little tap on the passenger side door. Let's see what happened in the middle of that when everybody was checking up here. Oh, the 80 just wasn't making up his mind where he wanted to go. So here we go one more time.
This time it's a new race for 2 laps. For this 2-lap shootout. You're gonna have Kyle Cooper and Ronnie Norman on the front row.
I almost want to say that's better if I'm Daniel Honeycutt.
Oh yeah, for sure, because then you can push Kyle Cooper, and you almost want to be in third, really, because I mean, what if something goes awry and Cooper gets into Norman, then you just snake on by.
Like I said, I almost want to say if I'm Kyle Cooper, I'm going to take the high line just so Honeycutt's not behind me. Because Honeycutt's had several chances to figure out what I'm going to do on the restart. So
I mean, maybe Honeycutt uses up Cooper this time. But Cooper's been so good on these restarts. It's almost like watching Ron Hornaday. I mean, Hornaday was a beast at restarting. Nonetheless, we're getting ready to find out what Cooper's going to do, as he is going to stick with the inside line, it looks like.
I'll get everybody stacked back up here.
Can Kinsley Smith play spoiler? They're in fourth position.
Well, right now, as long as Ronnie Norman doesn't win, we'll be looking at a new race winner. Yeah, it definitely did turn into that, Sarah. Caution City is right. These guys get to the end and everybody wants to win, so that tends to be what happens here. Kyle Cooper with the button. Honeycutt on his rear bumper, trying to push by Ronnie Norman, get back up into second place, and looks like he'll be able to do it, as he has had multiple chances to time that restart. Sail off into turn one, coming down the backstretch, and it's going to be Honeycutt and Cooper battling it out here as Ronnie Norman is going the wrong way. Todd Slauson makes quick work here of a couple drivers as he's trying to get up inside that top three. White flag in the air, and we're going to be racing back to checkers here.
Here comes Honeycutt down the back straightaway. Here comes Kyle Cooper. Does Honeycutt have anything for him? He's got to try something. As it stands at the hourglass, he goes to the outside. But nonetheless, here's your winner, Kyle Cooper. Honeycutt's going to cross the line in P2. And Ronnie Norman's going to hold on for P3. As they were crashing in the back of the field there.
Yeah, let's see what happened here. Watch this real quick.
Looks like...
Oh, Wade McMahon was just checking up, going slow. And they were just trying to get by, coming to the checker there.
Man, and I don't think Kroll is too happy, but nonetheless, Kyle Cooper is going to burn it down like Whoppers at Burger King.
So that pretty much locks Kyle Cooper into the chase here.
All right, let's get our top three up here, and we'll get Ronnie Norman up here first. Maybe.
Yep, you got him.
Ronnie, this is Alan. How you doing tonight, bub?
Doing a lot better now that this race is over than the beginning, for sure.
It looked like there in the late race restart that you had something for Honeycutt and Kyle Cooper. Take us through that. What were you thinking going into those last couple restarts there in the green white checkers?
I didn't really know what to expect. I think Cooper and Honeycutt were on 2 tires after that last pit stop, and I knew I took 4, so I didn't really know if it was really going to equal out or whatnot. But I think all those cautions there at the end really helped Kyle out with blocking this thing up, because just getting the jump on these restarts are extremely huge here. And I got around Daniel on one of those green white checkers, and I didn't need that caution to come back out, because then I knew once he had the inside, he had the launch on me like I did him. So I expected Daniel to get back by me there on that restart. It's so hard to try to guess when the leader is going to go here, and I just got burnt there, and he got back by. So just happy to hang on to third, and just hang on. Another good points a day for us. I know we gained a little bit on Austin. He had a little bit of a hiccup there, but all in all, just a good race for this 8 team, and we got one race left before we head into the playoffs.
Yeah, what's your mindset now that we're on the back half of the season and close to the, nearing the playoffs? Is it time to step up to the game for Ronnie Norman, or is it time to, or do you feel like you can relax because you got a couple wins? You're in good shape once they reset the points.
I don't think there's any time anybody in here is relaxing. I know basically this race, I thought maybe it was going to be a who can save your tires the best, and that's why I was laying back most of this race, and Austin was just taking off and acted like there was no tire wear at all. So then I was kind of mired back in traffic and had to try to get back up through the field. But no, I was basically trying to save, hoping if we went, the full 75 lap run, that maybe there at the end I'd be able to run them down. But it just didn't seem, it was just weird to me. So learned a little bit with that there. Maybe it was just the Xfinity car in general. But no, like I said, we're not really relaxing. I know the playoff schedule is it's a pretty good schedule coming up. So I think it's a lot of tracks that a lot of people like, and it'll be a lot of fun racing, and hopefully we'll be able to put on some good shows.
Well, Ronnie, I know we ask you this almost every week, but is there anybody that you'd like to thank to help get you here tonight?
Yeah, just thanks to Budweiser being on the car, Wrangler, FanDuel Sportsbook, Bass Pro Shops. Thanks to you guys for putting on these broadcasts for us. Shout out to Todd. He had a good run tonight. He needed one really bad. I know the points are coming down to it, so congrats to him on the top 5, and congrats to Kyle on the win. Like I said, it was a good strategy call for him to get this dub tonight, so awesome for him, and congrats to Daniel on second. And we'll I don't know where we're at next week, but I'm sure it'll be interesting for it being the final race for the chase. So yeah, just thanks everybody tuning in, and we'll be back here next Wednesday night.
All right, Ronnie, thanks for joining us in the booth. Ronnie Norman, you have a good night.
Thank you, guys.
All right, that was Ronnie Norman.
Daniel, Mike up in the booth, man. How's it going?
Pretty good, Mike. How are you?
Well, not too bad. So another bridesmaids finish here for you.
Yeah, I know.
Looked like you were going to have him there. But Kyle just was able to take that restart, get those jumps on you. But you had a good points day anyway tonight. How do you feel headed into Homestead?
Not as confident as I would have been if I won tonight, but I don't know. A couple second places back to back in the Xfinity series and in the truck series kind of helps my case for the playoffs. And I know we're going to Homestead next week for like the finale, but that's maybe I can try to get a top 3 out of that, maybe kind of point my way in if possible.
Yeah, definitely going to have to try and do that, as points are everything. And it's pretty tight, actually, looking at the points. Don't know how many points you're going to wind up with tonight, but you were only, it looks like 28 points back of the cut line, so definitely made up some of that tonight. Other than that, you made some pretty good strategy calls, wound up finding yourself on the front row for the last few restarts. Were you glad to see that caution come out after you got back into third place, try and help your case to get a win?
Oh, yeah. I was struggling a little bit on those restarts. He just kept getting such a good launch, and it was so hard to get the tires to stick and all that on the outside. And then I started third, so I'm like, well, at least he ain't going to beat me. At least I'll try to beat him a little bit back to the line. But I was able to clear Ronnie there and get a little bit closer on that second to last lap. And then on last lap in turn 3, I just kind of sent it, just kind of see if I couldn't quite get to his bumper. Maybe Carl Edwards it like he did in 2016, but just not quite enough. I was almost there. I probably might have touched it. It just didn't have enough to kind of get him a little loose and maybe go around him.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats on your P2 finish. Look forward to talking to you again next week. Anybody want to thank before we get you out of here tonight?
The same guys as usual, y'all, and everybody that puts this thing on, and just it's a lot of fun. Yeah, so just thank y'all.
Definitely, man. Well, I'll talk to you later.
All right.
And we got Kyle Cooper, tonight's P1 winner. Kyle, congratulations on P1, my man.
Thank you. It's been a long time.
Yeah, you got. First off, I want to say good job on getting the launch there on those restarts on the inside line. Did you know that was going to be the money line for you?
Yeah. First off, thank you. I've run several league races throughout several different leagues throughout the years, and this is my first time winning one of them, so it's pretty exciting. But yeah, I knew I could get good restarts on the inside. I've always been good at restarts, and I was able, even though I was on 2 tires there for the last run, I was able to just keep cracking them off. And honestly, within 10 to go, I felt like if we could have gone green, I'd have held them off. But just I got more restart practice there with like 18 restarts. It felt like, but yeah, it's good to finally get one of these.
Now we're headed into Homestead. What's your mindset now that you got the first one out of the way? What's the mindset going into Homestead? You feel like you picked up a little bit of momentum?
Yeah, unfortunately, I won't be able to race Homestead. I'll be recovering from surgery I'm actually having tomorrow. So if anything, I wanted to get as many points tonight as possible, just in the event that I have to, do a start and park or something next week. But I'm hoping, hopefully this gives me enough points to get me locked into the chase, and then take that momentum from this win and bring it into the chase. We've got some good tracks for me, and I think we can keep these guys honest anyway.
Well, Kyle, before you go and enjoy those flame grilled Whoppers from Burger King, is there anybody that you'd like to thank to help get you here tonight?
Yeah, Chance 3, Michael Stroll for this paint. I got away from the Burger King scheme for a few weeks, and my results kind of slipped, so I figure I better put the Burger King scheme back on, and it paid off. And thank you, Andrew and Alex, for putting the series on, and you guys for broadcasting. It's good broadcast, and that's about it.
Well, Kyle, before we get you out of here, we just want to send good vibes to you, and maybe we'll be talking to you soon.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Looking forward to this chase run.
All right, Kyle Cooper, P1 tonight. So Kyle Cooper's your winner, and Kyle, we'll see you on the next one, buddy.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Yep. Kyle Cooper, P1.
Well, that will do it here from the short track. Let's go ahead and do a quick rundown of the race results here. Kyle Cooper with the win. Daniel Honeycutt, Ronnie Norman round out that top 3. Kinsley Smith, Todd Slauson. Kinsley Smith was the biggest mover, up 22 spots. Todd Slauson, no slouch either, up 10. Go back to Gordon Spain and Alex Teft. Ira Kohlhaas with a pretty good recovery run. Andrew Teft as well. Austin Smith winds up inside the top 10 after getting pushed wide there towards the end of the race. John Shane Backler in 11th. Joshua Neal 12th. Lee Campbell, Matthew Jarrett, Brandon Puffenbarger round out that top 15. Truth Hoke brings it home. P16, Ian Campbell 17th. Dwayne McMahon 18th. We got Corey Kroll, Jarrett Larder, Brandon Honeycutt, Marshall Harris, Michael Brooks, Brandon Sanfilippo, Aaron Marquise, Dennis Kane, Jeremy Carter, George Sprinkle, and Ryan Coker will round out the field. So that will do it for the race results. Anything you want to say as we get ready to move forward to the last race here, Alan?
Well, Mike, I hope you get your bags packed because we are headed to South Florida next week for the final race of the regular season. And I think next week will be Daniel Honeycutt's week to win this thing. I think he's ran good. I think he's gonna run even better. He's gonna do one position better next week than he did tonight.
I definitely can see that happening. He's put in the work, and his luck is starting to change as he has passed that target scheme over to Kroll, as Kroll's been having a rough go of it lately. We'll see what happens as they move forward to Homestead. But from all of us here at SRM and all of the drivers of the Racers Elite Xfinity Series, I want to wish you guys a good night. And we'll see you tomorrow night.